Hello,
Hi.
Jennifer. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I'm going to move my camera down a little bit. I thought we would try something different and fun because you're always up for something different and fun. I have these interviews have been a blast. I have so enjoyed talking to so many fun different people. But it ends up being the talking heads where we're on camera and talking and sharing. But I thought let's try something fun and get some people to jump in and call it the Ask Jennifer Show. Now keep in mind my mother watches these, so we got to keep this PG or PG-13. But I thought it
My
would be
mom usually
fun.
watches too.
Okay, good. Well, I don't know your mother, but I know my mother. So I thought it would be fun to call it the Ask Jennifer Show. So we've pasted the StreamYard, the link into the chat. So what you can do, or into the comments, I'm sorry. So what you can do is jump in and we'll pull you into the stream and ask Jennifer. So I forgot to do my intros. So I'm Stephen Evans. I am the editor in chief, the publisher, and these days we take out the trash and wipe down the tables and do everything else here at Outclick Magazine. But we have a lot of fun. And today we're joined with Jennifer McClain. Jennifer was our cover. I'm gonna put this back up again.
Oh, yes, please.
We got to put this back up. Was our cover last July, and this was one of the most beautiful photos. This when we walked into Alibi, and this picture was everywhere. It just couldn't describe how beautiful this photo was for our cover story. And you sing all over, and you get up there and own the audience, and everybody adores you. And you're just one of our local celebs here, and you've always been a supporter of the magazine since we started, and you have this really great following. And I thought this will be fun. Let's do it. And if it's craziness, it's craziness. But so
Yeah, why not?
tell us a little bit about Miss Jennifer McClain. Let's pretend like there's somebody that doesn't know who you are first.
There are a surprising number of people who don't know who I am, even in South Florida. Um, and I'm not. I mean, I say surprising, but you know, I've been working in South Florida and almost exclusively in the LGBTQ community for about 22 years.
Okay.
Starting off when I first started hosting karaoke
Okay.
at a bunch of different places, including at a little place that a lot of people don't remember called Shakespeare's. It was a British pub. It was on 26th Street. It's now Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
So I go back quite a few years in this community. I hosted at Boom when it was Boom, and then I moved on and started doing cabaret shows, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I had a life before 1997, but it wasn't down here.
And your shows are not lip sync shows. You get out there and sing for a little piece of time. And if people who
Yeah,
sing know, it takes a lot of physical and emotional energy to sing as long as you do.
yeah, yeah. I've had friends that are singers that say I have cords of steel. Some people have abs of steel or buns of steel. I have cords of steel. And I mean, a lot of that is training and repetition. Just like anything, you can't get up one day and decide to run a marathon and run a marathon. You can't
Hmm.
get up one day and decide to sing for 3 hours and sing for 3 hours. So
That's a long opera. Well,
yeah.
I think we have our. I don't want to say go ahead caller because that might be copyrighted, but I think we have someone to join us. I
Uh
Hi Michael, can you hear us?
Yes. I don't know how good the connection is, but I can hear you.
All right. I know Michael comes to see you at Tropics and at Alibi and all the places you've
oh.
been. So thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Michael.
Michael.
This makes me nervous
Tell-
when it's somebody that I know really well because he could ask me just about anything.
all right. So Michael, tell us a little piece about yourself first.
Well, I've lived here in Fort Lauderdale for a long time too. I've been going to Jennifer's shows for forever since she was hosting karaoke and was a karaoke queen around town. And She's kind of become my mentor when it comes to singing in cabaret shows and piano bars, and she's taught me a lot about performing and getting the audience on your side and all of those good things. So I really admire her.
Oh.
So what is your Ask Jennifer?
Well,
And now while you're doing this, I'm going to try to share this on my Facebook. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to share it on my Facebook. And the video makes my computer very slow, but go right ahead.
so all the shows you did in school and in college and amusement parks and cruise ships and all of your special events that you've done, you've worked with famous and talented people. What are some of your favorite moments in your performance career?
Oh, geez. You'd think I'd be prepared for this kind of question. Let's see. Favorite moments. I did my very first gay cruise was with a company called Travel Pride, and it was they did a cruise on a small-ish, like one of those sailing yachts, and they had a dinner on the deck one night, and where it was this huge lavish buffet. There was only like 120 some odd passengers, I think. And there was this lavish buffet, and they had me. I was wearing my silver dress under the stars out in the Caribbean, and singing just kind of like background kind of music, like just chill lounge vibe type of stuff. And but I was standing kind of behind the buffet, so people that were in line had no idea that I was singing until they got right up there. And everybody that as soon as I got up to the food, they're like, "Oh, you're singing live." So that was really cool. That was definitely a highlight. Performing in Key West for New Year's Eve, especially the year that I actually made it on CNN and was actually singing live on CNN. That was pretty cool. The night that Leslie Jordan opened for my show, I think you were there that night. This was back at Bill's, and he obviously didn't open for me, but he had a show booked at 8:00, and I had my regular show at 10:30. So, I kept joking all week long that he was opening for my show, and got to meet him and talk to him backstage, and had some conversation. I think he said something about my hair being blonde, and I said, well, and I had one of my hair pieces in, and I said, well, the hair is fake, but the boobs are real or something. And he said, that's the only way to go. It's like, so that was a fun little moment. I know Stephen just interviewed Del Shores I think yesterday, and last year Del Shores was down here doing a show, and he came to my cast party show and actually recorded me singing Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad on his Instagram. And that was really, really cool to have that happen. So, I mean, a few things, few moments, highlights.
Where were you on CNN at
all the Pride events you've done?
Where were you at CNN on New Year's Eve?
Down in Key West, down on the stage in front of Bourbon Street. Yeah.
The stage right in front of Bourbon Street.
I've done it many years, but this particular year, I want to say it was 2015, 16 or 14, 15. And I have the video clip if you'd like it. But they showed, this was when Kathy Griffin was still doing it with Anderson Cooper. So they showed Kathy Griffin and Anderson Cooper in New York. And as they cut to commercial, they cut to me singing the second verse of Bang Bang. Remember the Ariana Grande, Jessie J, Nicki Minaj song, and played it for a full 11 seconds as they cut away to commercial. So it was really cool.
And that's where the big shoe drops.
Mm-hmm.
The big shoe drops of Bourbon Street Pub.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Michael, have you been there during that time?
I haven't been for New Year's, no.
No, I don't know if I could do the craziness, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Well, the only reason I can do it, honestly, is because I'm not in it. I'm like, I'm
right
behind.
I would have to be backstage as a personal assistant or something. Right?
It's the only way to do it, unless you really like crowds. Oh, hi, Francisco. Francisco says
All
hi
right.
to you and me, Michael.
So Francisco, if you click that link, you can join us. Just join us for the conversation. That would be really cool. So who is Francisco?
Francisco is a newer friend. He's been coming to my shows for a while and been very loyal and watching me and bring his family now online to watch the shows and everything. So he's one of my mom's favorite people because when she was down here in October, I brought her down, or she came down so I could take her to go see Les Miserables at Broward Center in the fall. And she came to my show on Saturday and Francisco was there. And she came to my brunch show on Sunday and Francisco was there. And she came to my cast party on Monday at Tropics and Francisco was there. So she's a big fan of his.
Okay. You got it? What did you got? So if you watch Frasier and Arthur Wood's my associate editor. He's across the table from me. He's my Roz. So I'm not talking to myself. I'm actually talking to someone who says hello. But
hi, Arthur.
He says hello. He actually got a haircut. He's quite excited after 4 months of being scraggly. So he's excited. Here we go. Here we go. Arthur's tasked with multiple jobs. Look at that.
He's doing deep dives into my social media, I see.
Small crowd. You performed for small crowds.
Yeah, just a few people, just a few of my close friends. That year, that wasn't the first year that I ever did it or the year that I got on CNN, but that was the first dress I ever bought at the Betty Page store. That started my my collection. That's the first dress that started my collection of those like dresses with the crinolines and everything.
So I always want to know, because I play the piano. I get stage fright. I get nervous. Do you get nervous when you get up and sing? Because you get up there without words and things like that. I can't play anything by memory, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this on here, but I can't play Happy Birthday without music. But I can fake a choral anthem if I have to accompany on Sunday morning. But do you get nervous without there and without music, or is it just, I think you have a different gift of music than I do to be able to get up there and do that?
Well, I mean, full transparency, during some of my longer shows, I do often have words in front of me or sheet music in front of me or something like that. But for shows like big shows where I'm only doing 2 or 3 numbers and I have to have them memorized, I still get nervous. I get a little freaked out. Like for Key West, before I went out for my first song, I was terrified because I was singing my first number this past year, my first song was I Am What I Am. And I'm like, there's all these, Key West is so crazy. There's thousands and thousands of people. And it's not my normal, 25 people in the Monkey Bar who already love me and they want to hear I Am What I Am. So I was like getting out there. I was like, not knowing how the audience is going to react. Well, when they embrace you, then you're like, it's the biggest high you've ever had, So that was really cool. So yeah, sometimes I still get nervous, not for my normal weekly, shows. Any new setting is always a little nerve-wracking for me. But I say if I had a head for numbers, I would be an accountant. I have a head for lyrics, so I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm. I played for a little touring ensemble when I was in college, and we learned 2 folders full of anthems, and there was one we learned at the end, and the group never learned the words to the song, ever learned it. So every time they got up there and sang it, they made up the words, and all I could remember was just keep playing and just keep playing. And they made up the most beautiful lyrics on site, but it was never the original words to the anthem that was written.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah. Michael, you've done stuff. Tell us one of your funny stories.
Oh,
you have to have.
So one of the funny stories, last September, I did a show at Tropics, a little cabaret show, and my friends were all there, and I'm singing, and they start laughing while I'm singing a funny song, and I was like, what is going on? So I finished the song, and I said, what is going on? They had a slide projector behind me on a screen with a sea turtle on it who was resting on a rock. Well, they didn't think he was resting. They thought he was dead. So they were all laughing that I had a dead sea turtle behind me while I'm trying to sing an emotional song. And that was crazy. It's like, why are you all laughing?
In our defense, it was hilarious.
It was. When I saw the video of it, I was like, oh God, look.
I mean, I think too at that point, at one point during that moment, somebody was taking a video of you, and somebody was taking a video of them taking a video of you, and then I think I pulled out my phone and was taking a video of them taking a video of them taking a video of you. It was just one of those moments that was just really funny.
Well, yesterday I was
so many. I don't.
Go ahead. What?
During your shows, just all the jokes that we come up with on the fly, and the 75% of 50%, and all those other crazy moments that we had.
Oh yeah, sometimes I am good at math.
Fun time.
Sometimes I am good at math, even when it's by accident. So.
And then all the touring companies you've had come through, all the Broadway level talent.
Mm-hmm.
Tony nominated actors on your stage.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
amazing. I mean, that's been a thrill. I mean, I could list all of those as well in what you asked me. I just kind of grasping for straws and highlights,
Right.
Having Robin de Jesus, having Robin de Jesus on the stage with me, right before he went into Boys in the Band, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it right before he started that, or right after?
Yes.
Like yeah.
Right before.
That was
right
really
before.
Cool. Having the Anastasia, the not Duke and Duchess, but those roles, Terry Kelly and Ed Stonemeyer, having them come and sing, and having one of them throw their shoe at me because I sang something really good. That was pretty amazing. And yeah, so there's been a lot of really talented people come through on Mondays, and that I've been thrilled to know. Giovanni DeGabriel, who was last here with the national tour of, I want to say, Bronx Tale. Was that the show he was here with last year? I think
something like that. Yeah, Bronx Tale.
Anyways, he just recorded a new Pride anthem, and they're getting ready to release the music video June 1st. Is that tomorrow? Is tomorrow June already? No, Monday.
Monday.
June 1st. Okay. Monday. So he reached out to me and he asked me to film a little video that hopefully will be included in like the montage of things. So that's something fun that's coming up. And Joey Perot, who is in Bandstand on Broadway, is writing a musical, and he asked me to record like a demo vocal for one of the songs he wrote. So yeah, and that's all from the years of networking and touring companies and all that good stuff. So
we got a question. Let me go back. How do I get there? Private chat. Here we go. Jeffrey, we won't say the last name, says, what is a trait or characteristic a man must possess to be the future Mr. McClain? If you want to be the future of Mr. Dr. Evans, we'll be here for an hour, but go ahead.
Patience.
I don't have time for that.
Open-mindedness. Definitely an embrace of the LGBTQ community. Did I mention patience?
Patience, open-mindedness, working with the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of a lot to handle, so they got to know what they're getting into.
Sense of humor is super important to me. And they have to be intelligent enough to get my humor, because sometimes it's, pretty highbrow stuff. Sometimes it's lowbrow, but sometimes I can get a little intellectually funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not willing at this stage in my life, I'm not willing to sacrifice any of my personal happiness just to be with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So they would really have to bring a lot to the table, to be honest. Because I'm pretty happy with my lot in life in general. But if somebody wants to ask me on a date once this is all over, listen, I'll say yes.
Well, I can say from having dated the wrong person, it's miserable, and I can say from having dated someone fantastic, it is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, we've got. Oh, who's this? Tommy.
Oh, Tommy Paduano. Yay.
Hey, Tommy. Uh,
Uh,
a love for Jaeger.
No, the Jaeger. Now, see, Jaeger's Arthur. You're behind the times. It's not Jaeger anymore. Only on occasion. Well, in Key West, it's still Jaeger. It's Fireball now. Yeah, Tommy knows me. Yes, actually, the future Mr. Jennifer McClain also needs to be either A, able to hold his liquor, or B, be a non-drinker who can just drive my drunk ass around. You know, because I won't drive.
Now, I remember way back when you and I remember the first part, the second half's a blur, sitting at the
Because we were sitting
bar
at Kyle's bar in Key West.
at the Bourbon Street pub in Key West. You were already started, and I sat down, and that was one of the funnest memories. As fun as that word, funnest memories I had of you is sitting down there in Key West and having a good time. That was a lot of fun.
Well,
We talked a lot of
that was
business,
the
but
night that I connected you with Mark McKillop.
yes, Mark, yes, who then
Mhm.
later came and did a show up here. That's right. That's right.
I joined him live on Instagram last night for about 20 minutes talking about absolutely nothing.
So
That was
where is he
hilarious.
at? Where is he at now?
He's back in New York. He was still on tour with Anastasia, and the tour closed down, obviously, like everything did. And so
Uh-huh.
he's been back in New York, but he doesn't really go live too often. So I just happened to be flipping through my phone. I'm like, Mark McKillop's live, and I popped in and said hey, and then he's like, I'm bringing Jennifer McClain in. He's so we just hung out and talked to like a few people that were watching. And it was fun. It was fun. Nice to see him. I mean, thank
Yeah.
God for social media right now.
Can you imagine if we didn't have this technology?
No, if this had happened back in first of all, we would have no information. Whether it's right or wrong, we'd have nothing back if this happened in like the 90s. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I said, well, through all this, it's we're missing a whole lot, but at least I've got a computer, I've got air conditioning, I've got
I do too now. Thanks.
Yep.
Mine broke this week.
Oh no.
I had to fix it. Yeah, that was not fun. I was like, why is it warm? Why am I sweating inside?
So I've got air conditioning, I've got, TV, I've got plenty of streaming media. So it it's not been terrible, but I miss coming out and seeing things,
Yeah. Well, I mean it's not the same. It can be close, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a simulation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just checking. I have a watch party. I'm seeing if anybody has anything.
Any questions or comments on the one?
Oh, Jeff Bryant says that was his question too. I guess everybody wants to know about my love life or lack thereof.
Oh, well, you know what? That's always interesting. Everybody wants to know the love life.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll be doing a show and I'll just say something about like when I was married, and half the audience goes, "Oh, you were married? I didn't know that." I'm like, it's not really a secret, but it's not like a highlight.
Well, I think in this town we all wonder, was it to a man or to a woman? And because I've learned not to assume ever again who was married to what. And sometimes people are married to one and now they're dating another, and they go back and it's I learned never to assume, and maybe not always ask. It's not always my business too. So, but.
Well, I'll answer your question and with a follow up that you don't even know that you want to know. I was married to a man, and one time somebody after we were divorced, somebody said, they asked me the question. They said, "Well, was he gay?" And another friend piped in and said, if Jennifer was married to a gay man, they'd still be together. So, or if Jennifer was married to a gay man, he never would have left her, or so, something along those lines.
He would be helping you pick out your outfits and adjusting your track lighting and probably running your sound.
Exactly. I mean,
Exactly.
He'd be in the next room right now.
That's right.
But yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. A funny story. I was playing the organ. So I started playing the organ at a Methodist church, and played for a couple of, and then I played for a Presbyterian church. And the hymns, they had some hymns that were unfamiliar to me, in the Presbyterian hymnal. So I pulled one up and I practiced it and was playing it. And then Sunday morning, I started playing it, and the congregation was singing, and I thought something sounds really odd. We sang it, and I got to the end of the verse and started the second, and I realized I was not playing the same song they were singing. They were on the same page, and the tunes were, there was no meter, and it was not very melodic. And I was playing something, and they were singing something completely different. And I literally stopped, and I looked at them and said, "I'm sorry, I'm playing the wrong song." I started all over again. It was not a very familiar tune to them either, but I was playing the wrong song because it was not a familiar tune to them, or to me, it was very kind of foreign. And I stopped, and at the end of the hymn, I just looked at them and said, "I'm sorry, but Bach probably did that once in his life too." So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
So it happens. Have you ever done that? Or Michael? Oh no, of course not. Of course not.
I have well, I mean, when I'm playing my own tracks, I know what song I'm playing. But I have a terrible time. I used to do a show with my friend Richard Cortez, who lives in New York right now. And he would play guitar or ukulele, and I would sing and play tambourine or
sleigh bells,
whatever, like slide whistle, triangle, whatever. And he would start playing the song on his guitar, and I would have no clue, zero clue what he was playing. And it was like, it was kind of a game, but it was also really frustrating for him. Because as soon as I knew what song it was, I was fine. But he would start strumming, and I'd just be like, I have no idea. I have no clue what you're playing. And it also happens with Jack Aronson with one particular song when Jack plays for me. And I don't know what's coming up. Like if I say, "Oh, Jack, we're gonna sing this song. Let's do this song," that I know what's happening. But if he just starts playing a song, it's not coming from an audience request. It's not coming from my mouth or my brain. When he starts playing the opening to Someone Like You from Jekyll and Hyde, I swear to God, I think he's playing Journey, Open Arms. And as Jack has said, in the 10 years that we've known each other and he's played for me off and on, we've never done Open Arms by Journey. So yes, it happens to me quite often, more often than you might think.
Or what key is this? What key are we doing this in?
Keys, schmees. I can figure out the keys, but if I don't know what song is coming up, sometimes I'm like, you could play all day long, and I don't know what you're playing.
I had a friend in college. She had perfect pitch, which meant you could take the glass and you could go make a sound, and she could tell you if it was E flat or G or anything. And she said she knew what key her vacuum cleaner was in. She knew what key the dishwasher was in. And you could just pick a note. She knew what key it was in. But the funny part was when I would play, we would do congregational singing, and I would change the key. And she was reading, and she would go like this because she said, "You're not playing what's on the page." Of course, no one else knew. They were just singing along. And she was the one person that would go, "You're playing it in a different key. I'm having a hard time." It was fascinating to hear her.
That is wild, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. But she could just pick up music and just sing it because every note to her, the perfect pitch is really fascinating. But you could just we would sit around the cafeteria and go, "Carla, what note's that?" She'd go, "E flat." and she was right every single time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, do you have relative pitch? Do you know what relative pitch is? Michael, do you know what
I'm
relative pitch is?
relatively on pitch.
Yes.
Well, if I play a note and tell you that's a G, and then play another note, then it's being able to know what the note is relative to that note. That's relative pitch. So
Oh, probably
that little
not.
music theory class, it doesn't get you anywhere or get you paid.
Yeah, I took 3 years of the 2 years of music theory. So you're muted, Steven.
There we go. I use my phone for the internet.
I still don't hear you. We're gonna have to carry on without you.
There we go.
I don't know how it works.
There we
Can you
go.
hear Michael?
That one.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I hear you now. Michael, you could hear him that time? I couldn't hear him at all.
We're gonna teach a class on how to do this one day, or I'm gonna take a class on it. I'm gonna take a class.
I was gonna say I need to take a class. Forget teaching it.
We have someone. We have someone.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Tommy!
Hi.
Tommy is a hero right now. Tommy is a hero. He saved a friend of mine last night who fell asleep and went live on Facebook.
Oh, the snoring was my favorite part. It was so funny.
He fell asleep, rolled over, started broadcasting and snoring. And then Tommy messaged me and said, so-and-so just went live. So I was like, oh my God. First I had to go watch him snore for a minute. Then I called him. Thank God I woke him up.
No, a good friend will hold your hair when you vomit and all that kind of thing. That's a really good friend, is to watch your feet and run over and go, oh.
I didn't call him right away. I had to watch it first, just for a minute.
I only watched it for 2 hours before I went over there.
So, and then somebody said, did you make any money like that drag queen?
It's funny because I had no idea what was going on, because all I saw was his ceiling, and I was just like, is he coming back at some point? And then the screen went dark. It hit the phone had flipped over, and I heard the and I was just like, oh.
It was hilarious.
That's the only thing. You hit a couple of buttons on the phone. You're live on Facebook, and everybody can hear your conversation.
Mm-hmm. Especially because apparently he had fallen asleep with the phone literally on his chest. Apparently, so.
Is that a new shirt, Tommy? You look all sparkly. I like it.
Oh yeah, I think I've worn this to your show before.
Oh, I like it. Very nice.
Thank you.
So this is the Ask Jennifer show. That's PG or better. So what's your Ask Jennifer question?
Okay, so I've been there for a lot of Jennifer McClain performances. I want to know, what is the single most, I want to say, embarrassing moment you've had live on the stage that you can look back and laugh at today?
Well, honestly, there's nothing that I can't laugh at today.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing I drunkenly rolled off the stage once at a bar back in the late 90s called the Curve Club. And my friend had brought his boss to see my show, and I had decided that I was going to have a pool party that afternoon, which is probably the last time I ever did day drinking before a performance. At that same club, a very dear friend of mine, I just got in this cute new outfit. It was a red sequin tube top and this red velvet skirt. And in the course of performing, the tube top and the skirt had kind of separated. So I had a friend very kindly come up to the front of the stage and try to piece them back together by pulling down on the tube top. And he was standing right in front of me, thank God, because when he pulled down on the tube top, it went all the way down. So, yeah. However, it was Mark Soloway, and I think he was more embarrassed than I was. So those are, I mean, those are long time ago. I don't feel that I have anything that, I mean, embarrassed to me is something that I don't want to own, you know.
Yeah.
I'll own my shenanigans and I'll own my drunken missteps. But yeah, something that's like really embarrassing. I can't think of any. You can probably think of more things than I can. I just block out the ones that are really bad. What do you think is my most embarrassing moment on stage, Tommy?
Oh no. I enjoy every single shenanigan that happens. I do. You know, whether it's singing "Rolling in the Deep" while rolling on the floor of the stage.
That was at Bill's. At the end of a very long night.
I think that one sticks out of my head as something that was just super fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's a I have a willingness, I think, to really, not all the time, but to really allow myself to be ridiculous. And just like let it all hang out. Not literally all the time, but yeah. So there's definitely been some ridiculous moments. That was one. Rolling in the deep.
I have a question. Have you ever had any protesters at your show? Because someone was mentioned on a previous show that there was a protester an LGBT protester that had showed up somewhere. Have you ever had one of those? Oh, and when I interviewed Tiffany Fantasia, and she talked about when she was down there right on. And that Ocean Boulevard and that iconic moment when she stared him down with the sign.
Yep.
You've never had anything like that?
Not directly at me that I can think of. I mean, I had a drunken asshole one time, but he wasn't protesting anything but me. He asked me to sing a song and I hadn't gotten to it yet. And he came up and he stood at like the front of the bar, flipping me off with both hands. And he stood there for like 3 or 4 minutes. And I was like, hey guys, can somebody get him out of here? He's got to go. And they, the security came and they surrounded him and they started walking him towards the front. And as they passed the stage, he lunged at me. But that had nothing to do with anything other than the fact that he was a drunk a-hole. But I had to fill out a police report that night and everything. So, but that wasn't anything to LGBT. It's kind of funny, and this goes. I don't try to insulate myself from differing views or opinions and whatnot, but I would say 97% of the people in my sphere, whether it's personal, in person, or online and in the social media, all have my same viewpoints or very similar to my viewpoints. So I don't encounter a lot of protesters. I mean, I've seen the people carrying the signs, like when I've been down in Key West for Pride, but I've never had an altercation in my face or a protest directly against me. I mean, that could be a part of the privilege that I have of not being an out gay person. I mean, I'm clearly a supporter and an ally, but I am not myself gay that I'm aware of yet. So,
call me tomorrow.
Yeah. Talk to me after this quarantine ends. I'm really not picky. Those attributes for Mr. McClain, they can also be Ms. McClain. I don't even care at this point. No, I don't mean that in any negative way whatsoever. But Kevin says, "Hi, Kevin Feinberg."
Hi, Kevin. I joked for a while that I was watching so much TV. I think I was dating Penny from The Big Bang Theory because I was watching like 8 episodes a night, and after I was like, she's kind of pretty. Maybe she's available.
Right, yeah. Listen, any port in a storm?
Yes, it was about the truth. Well, this has been fun. If there's anybody else has any other questions for Jennifer, this has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm just checking my watch party to see if there's anybody that asked anything. But
all right, check yours.
They're watching it.
Maybe everybody already knows everything. You've already told all the stories.
Well, I apparently after my Saturday night show this week, I told a lot more stories. I do like an after hours show on Saturdays after I finish my regular online thing, and that one I try not to repost, because it gets a little off color. So we send mom to bed and then I keep going.
That's all right. Do you have another comment, question?
Oh, no, I just my friend Robin said, not a question, just a comment. Jennifer's been so amazing through this.
Mm.
So I'm going to just take a moment and say thank you.
Thank you.
But
well,
I mean, you do what you can.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Jennifer has helped keep some normalcy, my normal routines of getting to hear shows, and thank goodness, and getting to see her, even though it's been 11 weeks since I've seen her in person.
Yeah.
Yes. And Tommy, where do you live?
I'm out in Coral Springs, Florida.
Coral Springs. Okay, so you come all the way in for her shows. It's very good.
It's like not like I have to take a flight.
Question.
That's true.
Although, everybody east of 95 pretends that west of 95 doesn't exist. So
wait, west of what?
95.
West.
Isn't that like Naples? I am one of those people. I live in Pompano Beach, and everything I do is south of Pompano. Like I could have a Publix or a Home Depot, and I do like right up here, like just north of me by like a mile or half a mile. I'll go 5 miles south to the one in Wilton Manors because I'm more familiar with that area.
I've always said
your friends.
I've always said that the Publix at 5 Points is really a gay bar that sells groceries.
Oh, I'm
Not
sure.
wrong.
I am sure. Yeah. Well, that's the one thing. Luckily I do have a Publix up here that I can go to. Well, I have not done my own grocery shopping for about a year just because I don't like it. So I was so far ahead of that curve when it came to grocery delivery. Like I've been doing it for months and months and months. But if I had to run out to the Publix up here, the odds of my running into anybody I know are very minimal. Thank God. So, but Jeff Bryant just asked me in my watch party. He said, "Are all the drinks a bartender gives you during a show real?" No, Mom. No, Mom. Now, I will be honest that some of them, especially in the beginning of the night, the mixed drinks, I do have him make it a little lighter, because otherwise I wouldn't make it through the whole show. Like if I was drinking Jägermeister in the volume of liquid that I'm consuming throughout a show, I would never make it. If I was drinking Fireball in the volume that I'm consuming, but if it's a mixed shot, then we have a little leeway because it's not all liquor. So, but yeah, they're all real. I used to do a thing when I drank Jaeger. I would have little shots of Diet Coke behind my setup, and I would do a little switch out. I would always drink them eventually, but I didn't want to get too messy during the show. So yeah.
What's that sign say? Keep drinking until I look better or until I look good.
Well, it's funny, yeah, because like the you hear especially a lot of the female impersonators, drag queens, they say, the more you drink, the better we look. And I don't like to say that. or the more we drink, the better we sound. And I'm like, I hope that I sound okay regardless of how much you're drinking. But yeah, drink till she's cute.
Yeah.
Drink till.
Yeah. Drink till the last call.
That was a good question though. That was and a legitimate one. Because most of my drinks during the show are bought to me by the audience. Bought for me by the audience. I believe in transparency and honesty. If I'm not going to drink, I'm going to tell you I'm not drinking tonight. I can't drink tonight for whatever reason. I don't want somebody to spend $5, $6, $7, $8 on what they think is alcohol, and I'm just getting a Diet Coke or a cranberry juice and club soda. And I know there are people that do that, and they're like, I'm gonna pretend to drink, but the bar's still gonna make money. I want the bar to make money, of course, but not at I feel like it's my integrity if I'm saying that I'm drinking alcohol and you're paying for alcohol, but I'm not getting alcohol, if that makes sense. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all real.
Very cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again and get you back on, a couple others, and this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us. And Michael and Tommy, thanks for taking the time out of your busy day. Michael, I assume you're off today.
Yes.
Tommy, you're off every day.
Until further notice.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, you know what? I am still doing my part at home, trying my best.
Oh, yeah. I feel you. So, and thank you, Stephen and OutClick, and for providing this outlet and platform.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll look for more interviews and features, and we'll look for your show. And Jennifer, you're doing your. Are you still doing stuff on your website, your Facebook? Tell us about. Give us that little elevator speech about where we can find you.
Where you can find me. Well, since I had to get my air conditioner repaired this week, you can find me every day. Trying to get my. No, I'm just kidding. I go live every Saturday at 7, every Monday at 7:30, and Wednesdays at 8. And I that's just what my regular schedule will be. And I tried to keep doing that to keep myself in shape, vocally as well as mentally. So I didn't want to. I do occasionally. Last night I did a random pop-up show at midnight, but it was just I had gotten all dressed up to do that video recording for my friend, and I was there in makeup and hair, and I said, let's go live. And it ended up being one of the most fun shows that I've done, with just a whole bunch of random, like, bizarre 80s songs, like Cause I'm a Blonde and Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun, and just random songs.
Yeah.
So Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays officially.
Very cool.
They're all on Facebook, because I found that's the best platform, both for the auditory, the sound, and the video, and the reach, the outreach, being able to reach as many people as I can. I'm not trying to expand my, I'm not trying to blow up and be an internet viral sensation or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep connected with the people that I already know. And if I can reach a few more here and there, that's great.
Yeah. Cool. So,
yeah, that's it.
Well, enjoy your weekend. This has been fun, and we look forward to seeing you in person when that is. And things are changing, and social norms are being redefined. But we're going to make it. And as our Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau has said, we are greater together. So, thank you for joining us, and everyone, have a good night. Tommy and Michael, thank you as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Steven. Thanks, Tommy, Michael.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, Jennifer.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye,
Online.
Tommy.